Welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect. We're on the Normandy. We were just about to go touch that galaxy map and watch the events start to unfold there, but there's something I didn't realize was possible, and I want to go do that now. About 10 episodes ago, I think now, we had a chat with Kaidan. We had the option to make him more renegade, and I wanted to do that just to see if there was any kind of lasting impact throughout the game, throughout the series with him doing that. But I didn't realize is that there's actually a chance to get a follow-up with him. And if you touch that galaxy map, that big reset I mentioned actually eliminates this follow-up opportunity too. So let's go and do that. Now I suppose might be a good time if I can avoid distractions of any kind. Yeah, okay now.
This is almost over. The Council won't be able to deny what we found after this. Ash backed those Solarians to the end, and we still can't get any respect. If they don't want to do anything, they should get the hell out of our way. It can only improve things if the Alliance was in charge.
Oh boy. Boy, we have a passionate renegade Kaidan here. And yeah, we can continue to embrace it, and that's what I really want to do. But notice, I have a paragon route I can take here.
That's throwing the baby out with the bathwater, don't you think?
What? That isn't what you've been pushing? Didn't you make an argument for pushing the Council out? That the Alliance should demand its due instead of waiting to be accepted?
Ease it back, Kaidan. I'm not talking revolution, just getting our due.
That's not what I got out of it. Did I misread you? Jeez, what else have I got wrong?
Poor Kaidan. Yeah, he's a little miffed, and understandably so. I mean, last time we chatted with him, we were pretty renegade with him. And now all of a sudden we seem to have turned the tables on him. And yet we can still charm or intimidate him, but notice that he's now a little bit tougher to charm or intimidate. I'm sorry if I misled you. It requires 8 charm points, and these things take time, requires 8 intimidate points, so yeah, we won't be able to do that. I'm not going to put up my PowerPoint slide. I mean, I didn't realize this was here, but and I honestly don't know what the consequence is if you aren't able to do it, except for one effect, and that is that you can end this conversation in a fairly pleasant way. So we don't have that option. So we're going to see what happens when the conversation ends not so pleasantly.
Kaidan, there's a difference between me ranting in private and us, I don't know, launching a coup or something.
Shepard, I was gearing up to confront the Council. As an officer, you should keep me in the loop. As a friend, I'd hope I wouldn't have to remind you of that. Maybe I got the message wrong.
Come on, Kaidan, it's no big deal.
Sure feels like it. I'm sorry. I need to take a step back and have a look at this. I should return to my duties anyway. Commander?
Yeah, he ends the conversation with Commander instead of I like that. So you have to wonder right away, did we break something here? When he says he wants to take a look at this, does he mean his renegade, that renegade side he was newly embracing, or us? I mean, is that what he's looking at? So I actually didn't know. I played it through just to see on my practice run, and at the end I still was in a relationship with him, and he still was just giving me renegade responses. So that's why I'm not going to mess with this. With respect to the PowerPoint slide, there just doesn't seem to be any impact on it, not being able to charm or intimidate him there. I guess in a way you could look at it as a way to fine-tune his renegade path by saying, okay, yeah, I wanted to be more human-centric, but not so much. I'm like, whoa, hold your horses there. It's not so much, but so yeah, and I don't. But you know what? I've worked hard to get Kaidan into this, not into a frenzy, but at least into this more renegade path, and I want to continue to embrace that with him. So yeah, my canon playthrough is going to keep him as a renegade, just because I want to see what the effect will be.
This is almost over. The Council won't be able to deny what we found after this. Ash backed those Solarians to the end, and we still can't get any respect. If they don't want to do anything, they should get the hell out of our way. It can only improve things if the Alliance was in charge.
They don't want to deal with reality. They want to believe the whole galaxy's as cautious as they are, that no one can surpass their power.
I hope they'll wake up after you pull their nuts out of the fire. I can see how you hauled yourself out of the gutters on Earth. I don't think I've ever met a woman like you.
Keep that in mind after this is over. I will be tracking your shore leave, mister.
Well, I kind of hoped any shore leave would be joined. No bull, Shepard. I want to follow through with this. It's tough keeping it separated from duty. But when the mission's complete, it'll be different. I hope you feel the same, ma'am.
I hear you, soldier. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Oh, you are good at that. Shepard, you are hard to step away from. We'll get this done, Commander. The sooner the better.
So yeah, we would have missed out on all of this if we had touched that galaxy map. So yeah, that would have been a bit of annoying. So so there's nothing to do here, and I can ask him about Noveria, but I actually want to do all of that as part of the main crew chats that we'll do after the Citadel.
We'll talk later, Kaidan.
I'd like that.
And yes, we're still with him, I guess you could say. And we're free to go touch that galaxy map at last. Because all the others, like Rex, Garrus, and Tali, they don't. There's nothing that's lost from talking to. If you wait to talk to them after this reset, so. All right. Let's advance the story.
I forwarded the mission update to the Citadel, Commander. We got confirmation on those reinforcements. Ambassador Udina wants us to report back to the Citadel. The Council's massing a joint species fleet to deal with Saren and his geth.
Took them long enough. Back to the Citadel, Joker. I want the Normandy at the head of that fleet.
Yes, ma'am.
Good job, Shepard. Thanks to you, the Council's finally taking real action against Saren.
The Ambassador is correct. If Saren is foolish enough to attack the Citadel, as you believe, we will be ready for him.
Patrols are stationed at every mass relay linking Citadel space to the Terminus systems.
You think a blockade's gonna stop him? He's on Ilos looking for the conduit right now. What are you doing about that?
Ilos is only accessible to the Mu relay, deep inside the Terminus systems, Commander. If we send a fleet in there, the only possible outcome is full-scale war.
Now is the time for discretion, Commander. Saren's greatest weapon was secrecy. Exposed, he is no longer a threat. This is over.
Secrecy isn't his greatest weapon. The conduit is.
Saren is a master manipulator. The conduit is just a distraction from his real plan to attack the Citadel.
Sovereign's the real threat. Saren's just a servant of the Reapers.
Only you have seen the Reapers, and then only in visions. We won't invade the Terminus systems because of a dream.
One ship going into the Terminus systems won't start a war. I can be discreet.
You detonated a nuclear device on Vermeer. I wouldn't call that discreet.
Your style served you well in the Traverse, Commander. We recognize that. But Ilos requires a deft touch. We have the situation under control.
If Saren finds the conduit, we're all screwed. We have to go to Ilos.
Ambassador Udina, I get the sense Commander Shepard isn't willing to let this go.
There are serious political implications here, Shepard. Humanity's made great gains thanks to you, but now you're becoming more trouble than you're worth.
You bastard! You're selling us out!
It's just politics, Commander. You've done your job, now let me do mine. We've locked out all the Normandy's primary systems until further notice you're grounded.
And anyone who hates Udina from the start really, really hates him here. I mean, this is a pretty stupid mistake, though, of course, we know more than he does, so... Anyway, this is a freebie worth 2 Renegade.
Nobody stabs me in the back, Udina. Nobody.
I think it's time for you and your team to leave, Commander. This no longer concerns you. The Council can handle this, with my help, of course.
can't do this. Not after everything we've been through. We're not gonna take this, are we? There has to be a way to appeal. The Alliance isn't under their control yet.
The Ambassador was no help. We got hung out to dry. Again.
And now he expects us to walk away?
We lost the battle, not the war. I'll figure something out.
If I can be of any help, let me know. I hope I'm not out of line saying that.
No, I'm glad you're here. It was a frustrating trip before we were grounded.
You looked like you were about ready to go off on the Council. Much as they deserve it, it's good to take a step back. I'm here for you, but we're in a rough spot, and the last thing I want to do is muddy things. Like it's all that clear to start with. Are we the pride of the fleet or not? Are we valued agents or just peons?
I'm sick of it too. Maybe we need to take a little initiative.
You have something up your sleeve, Shepard? What am I saying? When don't you? That's what I appreciate about you.
I think you need more practice appreciating me. On the floor and give me 20, Lieutenant.
Finally, a reason to look forward to physical training.
Sorry to interrupt, Commander. Got a message from Captain Anderson.
Are you spying on us, Joker?
No, ma'am. Just knew you were on the ship and figured I'd pass the message on. The captain said to meet him at Flux, that club down in the wards.
Well, I guess you better go then.
What a tease this game is. Alright, Kaidan and Garrus going to the Citadel, I guess.
Equalizing
Flux.
interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Alright, that journal flashed up, and indeed, we are now finally working against this thing. Race against time. You've discovered that the real enemy is not Saren, but a Reaper called Sovereign, a sapient warship of tremendous power. Sovereign is using Saren as a tool to find the conduit, the key to unleashing a new Reaper invasion on the galaxy. So, yeah, initially this just told us to go to the other story missions and find clues. Then we reported. And I guess we managed to escape the council meeting and back onto our ship somehow. And now we just have to go meet with Anderson. He's waiting for you at the wards and at Flux. He may be able to help you get off the Citadel. Why would he need to help us get off the Citadel? I mean, we're right here. We can just simply jump right... hello? Who the hell are you? Mechanic? What's broken on my ship?
Sorry, Commander. The Normandy's locked down. Ambassador Udina gave the order.
You're a mechanic with no toolbox and no gun. I'm just gonna walk back. I'll show you.
Sorry, Commander. The Normandy's locked down. Ambassador Udina gave the order.
Dance! 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 Fine. I was going into the Citadel anyway. Locked down until further notice, he said. That's not nice. Alright, let's make sure everyone's leveled up. Kaidan has a point. Get him advanced first aid. And Garrus has a point, so another point of assault training. Why not? Let's take a peek here, too. We got 2 renegade points there, and even though you can barely see, we're just barely, like, we're 1 point over that next block, which means we now have when you reach 275 points, you are then awarded with the morality mission. So in our case here, there's a renegade mission that's unique to us, and we'll get awarded that at some point. Also notice that when we got those 24 points there on Novaria for saving the Queen, that brought us over just over this block, which means now we have 4 charm points. Yay! So we now have been awarded all of the free persuasion skills that we were going to be awarded, and so yeah, I'm very happy about that.
Alliance officials report that a Geth incursion into the Armstrong cluster has been repulsed, with the Geth suffering heavy casualties. In the event of future Geth activity, the Alliance plans to maintain a strong security presence in the area.
Yay, that was another assignment that we did. very big one. Alright, as per usual, I would be inclined to go over there and head up to the embassies, but of course Udina is, well, I guess he's with the council, and Anderson is waiting for us at Flux, so that's why we had to use that cheat in order to get to Novaria, wrap up there with Udina. Alright, so, although we were supposed to go to Flux, you notice there's no clock on the wall, so there's actually some more work we can do here. Now that I have 4 charm points, I'm thinking there's some things we can finally wrap up and get done. There's a couple of people that have been arguing for the longest time. I mean, I think right after the first council meeting, I think these two appeared. And they've been waiting patiently for someone to come along and get them out of their little impasse.
I've told you before, you're not allowed in here.
This one believes it has the right to move freely through this area.
You're creating a public disturbance. It's against Citadel regulations.
This one is unsure why the other would not wish word of the Enkindlers to be spread.
Alright, so we have a CSEC officer and a preaching hanar, and they're having a little dispute. Let's see if we can help them.
That hanar refuses to listen to reason. Why can't it act in an orderly and lawful manner?
So, of course, Anja is not a xenophobe or a racist, but Kaidan is standing right there, and we just made him more renegade. Let's see if we can lead by example.
Because it's a big stupid jellyfish.
Ouch.
How can I convince my superior that I deserve a promotion if I cannot convince this annoying jelly to leave? I am not unreasonable. The hanar is free to spew its nonsense once it purchases an evangelical permit.
So if the hanar gets a permit, it's allowed to preach?
No. Registered evangelicals must follow regulations. There are specific areas where preaching is legal. Failure to follow the regulations results in the forfeiture of the license.
Why don't you just arrest the hanar?
I could arrest the jelly, but my superior has requested that I find a solution that does not anger the hanar. The hanar become vocal when they feel their religious beliefs are being suppressed.
What's the purpose behind the evangelical permits?
Forcing religious evangelicals to register for a permit weeds out undesirables. It keeps the area safe. The Citadel is too important to become a battleground for a religious war.
Alright, let's see if we can help out here.
If you'd like, I could talk to the hanar for you.
I have argued with the stubborn jelly all afternoon. You are certainly welcome to try.
Of course, we've been calling him names. Well, he's been standing right there. Not very nice. And we got a new assignment. Citadel Presidium Prophet, a Turian CSEC officer, and a religious hanar are arguing about whether the hanar has the right to preach in the Presidium. Evidently, the hanar is supposed to buy an evangelical permit, but has refused to do so. Alright, hello, Mr. Hanar guy.
Do you desire to learn of the Enkindlers? Or has the Honorable CSEC officer enlisted assistance?
Are you allowed to preach here in the Presidium?
The words this unworthy one speaks are merely observations of the truth. The CSEC officer requests that this one purchase an evangelical permit to spread the truth of the Enkindlers.
If that's all the CSEC officer wants, why not just buy the permit?
The truth of the Enkindlers is universal. This one humbly believes that the truth should not be suppressed. Exacting payment as a means of imposing limits upon the truth is an abrogation of this one's religious freedom.
So you're breaking the law by preaching without a permit right now?
The CSEC officer states that preaching in this place is forbidden, and preaching anywhere on the Citadel requires a permit. This one humbly submits that it is not preaching to state the truth of the Enkindlers, and thus no permit should be necessary.
Who are the Enkindlers?
Your people know them as the Protheans. They are the true creators of this one's people. The Enkindlers raised the hanar from ignorance into consciousness by granting this one's people the gift of speech.
How did the Protheans do that exactly? I mean, the hanar speak through that bioluminescent nose of theirs. My guess is the Protheans didn't teach them how to speak. They made it possible for other species to understand them. And that, in a way, would be, I would imagine, considered a gift of speech. So that's pretty interesting. So we have plenty of options we can do. We can actually say, alright, we'll go see if we can talk to the CSEC officer, and we can actually charm or intimidate him into allowing the hanar to preach, which is kind of funny because every time you pass by this way, you'll hear the hanar out here preaching away. It's pretty neat. Definitely worth a playthrough to do it that way. But I think I'm going to go and try to convince the hanar instead.
Is this really how you want to represent the Enkindlers?
The truth of the Enkindlers must be made known. They gave the hanar language, and gave the universe the mass relays. This one only wishes to spread the truth to any who will listen. There is no intent to cause trouble.
This is unworthy of you, requires 4 charm points, and there's trouble anyway, requires 6 intimidate points. So yeah, I needed to wait a pretty long time to get to this point. This one has been available all along. Could I buy your permit? It's 150 credits to do that, and it's the same thing. He'll be here preaching throughout the rest of the game. But back when this assignment would have been first available, 150 credits was a big deal. It would have been annoying to have to do it that way. So yeah, I think we get 8 paragon for choosing this anyway, so yeah, this is what we want to do.
Is this how the Enkindlers would want you to use this gift of consciousness?
The Enkindlers would wish for their message to be spread to all sentient races.
If the Protheans had wanted you to force your message on the unwilling, they'd have said so.
This one hears wisdom. Perhaps enthusiasm has clouded judgment in this matter. This one departs now, and will not intrude upon the Presidium again.
Yay, 8 paragon. Does it feel complete, this assignment? I mean, we didn't get any XP, and that would be one giveaway. And of course, this is not showing as marked either. You have helped the CSEC officer and convinced the hanar to preach in a more appropriate location. Tell the CSEC officer in the Presidium that the hanar will no longer be preaching there. So, it's kind of weird that he's left, and we still have to tell this guy that the hanar has left. But anyway.
I see the hanar has left. Thank you.
Somebody needed to set that thing straight, and it obviously wasn't going to be you.
You have already demonstrated your ability. I acknowledge it, and I will learn from your example. Here, for your assistance in this matter. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should report to my superiors.
There's the XP drop, and 10 Omnigel as an additional gift. That's pretty funny. Alright, and that text doesn't update, but it is marked complete now, which is always good. Okay. I was just noticing something there. Yeah, this is someone else who's been waiting for us. Let me remind myself what we're doing here. Emily Wong has approached you again and asked you to help with her next investigation by planting a bug at Citadel Traffic Control Station. Oh yes, so when we got this assignment, which was a while ago, I said I was going to wait because this seemed a little too close to the Patco situation that Ronald Reagan endured in 1981, I think. Not endured, I mean, he put himself in that situation. He fired all those controllers that were striking, and for a while people were afraid to fly. And I'm wondering here if this will be history repeating itself because we're failing to remember history. So let's see. And it's nice that we can still talk to her. Maybe we can change her mind.
Hello again. Is there a problem? I'm not detecting any signals from the bug yet.
Yeah, I've changed my mind. Requires 4 charm points, and lie, I already did. It requires 5 intimidate points. This is a fun way to go too. You get 9 renegade as a reward, and the result's the same in the sense that no one's going to get fired. Of course, we can still go and do the assignment if we want, but I really want this, and I get 8 paragon from this too.
I'm not going to plant this bug. This isn't a good idea.
Why not? The controllers need someone to tell their story, and the public deserves to know.
If you publish this, controllers will just be fired and replaced. Do you want that?
No. The last thing I want is for experienced controllers to be replaced with inexperienced ones. I'll have to rethink this story. Maybe if I sell it as tough workers in a thankless job, they'd give me an interview. Here, thanks for investigating and for new information. I'm going to talk to my publisher.
57,000 credits for not doing anything. Oh, that is funny. Alright, we got that assignment early, which means it's way down here somewhere. There you are. You convinced Emily not to publish a story about overworked space traffic controllers. Yeah, that just feels right all over. Okay. Alright, so this is really the last time we're going to be able to just freely roam the Citadel and do what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and hit up the stores just to see if anybody's selling anything. I don't expect to buy anything, but you never know. And I'm going to hush up so that we can just speed through this. Alright, the flux is right over there, and that's where we're going to go next. I'll do that in the next episode. This seems like a good place to break. Alright, and we'll pick up the story from right here next time.